Oh hey, I'm back again already. There's a Metal 2022 tag going around. Metal Tag 2022. Tag Metal 20. Hi. Metal Tag 2022. Why not? Let's jump in. Welcome back to Ground Zero Salem. It's Pat once again. So, Rock Scout threw out another Metal Tag this year, 2022. A lot of people seem to be joining in the fun. I see no reason why I shouldn't. I've got a little bit more free time on my hands. So I got the questions in front of me. I pulled most of them. A few of these I might kind of fart around on a little bit. I'll edit appropriately so you don't get too bored. Number one is your favorite reissue of 2021. A lot of stiff competition for these. I try to keep it to metal, so I could easily talk about the Morning Noise reissue or the Bad Brains Rock for Light remix or pre-remix, the non-sped up version, which I've been wanting for a long time. Sounds amazing. Wanted to keep it to metal, so I snagged this. I was gonna go with the Exorcist Nightmare Theater repress, but that's been repressed a bunch of times over the 2010s. This is an obscure Canadian thrash band that sounds like a mix of Motorhead with something a little bit more crossover and gnarly like DRI. Awesome stuff. It's like a 8 or 9 track demo put out by Urban Grandier last year, end of last year. And Urban Grandier, fantastic label that pulls out a lot of this kind of obscure Canadian stuff and brings it screaming into sunlight. It's an awesome record. They've done some other great stuff recently too. A cool comp of like early to mid 80s Toronto metal. I'll be talking about a bunch of their releases coming up on my next collection update. Number 2, a band you discovered, old or new, in 2021. Well, I read that Finnish death metal book, and whenever I read one of those, I usually go on a pretty deep dive of checking out stuff on YouTube, seeing what's been reissued, seeing what I like. Just like when I originally discovered the Swedish death metal book that Daniel Ekeroth did back in whatever that was, 2008, I think. I just kind of like went through with like a highlighter almost and picked stuff out. One band that I was super interested in from the Finnish book is ARG. Entrance. All these bands like SFH and ARG, you could tell DRI and SOD were really having their influence on these acronym bands. I don't know what either one stands for, by the way. I don't remember off the top of my head. I don't know if it says right here. No, it doesn't. ARG. They came out with a couple, 2 or 3 albums in the late 80s into the early 90s. And this is just really, really feral, vicious thrash. This one's a little bit more thinly produced and thinner, scrappier guitar sounding than the other one that I have. But Entrance is the debut. Awesome, like Wookiees brandishing swords there on the cover. Yeah, just feral, snarling, brutal death thrash stuff from Finland. That's my new discovery for this year, amongst several others. Show an album with outstanding vocal performance. Recent score. As I mentioned, previous update, again, getting more and more into traditional heavy metal. Digging deeper and deeper. One band that gets discussed a lot with my buddies in the VC is Omen. I had a best of for a while. This is The Curse, which is their second, I want to say, maybe third. This is a great record. Amazing vocal performance on this. You know, just straight up powerful heavy metal. What's the guy's vocal? J.D. Kimball vocals. Yeah, fucking great set of pipes on that guy. Awesome stuff. And show a gap filler. So this is a weird one for me because I don't really do that so much. I'm kind of an anti-completist. I have so much stuff as it is. I don't really have room to buy stuff that I'm like not super into by a band. But that being said, and speaking of Omen, I got this as part of a lot on eBay. And if this was a gap filler, just so I had all the Omen stuff, this would be it. Escape to Nowhere. This is their, you know, kind of departure from the more or less like, you know, dungeony, inflamed metal that they were known for at the time. They got a different vocalist, Coburn Farr, and it's not bad. A lot of people talk about it like it's their Fight for the Rock or their Stay Hard, Stay Wet. It's not that bad. It's definitely cooler side of the pillow, heavy metal, but I wouldn't say it's straight up like hair rock or anything like that. And side B is considerably, you know, heavier than the first, it sounds like. Not sure why. This is one, I think I owned this on CD at some point. Might have even owned it more than once. Down goes a tape. Show a cheap pickup from 2021. I picked this up on Discogs. I owned it on CD at one point. This is the Anchor Watt. First album, When Obscenity Becomes the Norm, cut out. Death Records, so, you know, sharing a label with some really great bands. Crossover stuff, primarily on Death Records there. Cryptic Slaughter and the like. I always tried to get into this. I had the CD back in the day, and it always kind of fell short. It's very punky and very weird and technical at the same time. It's not the most accessible thrash record. Kind of screechy sort of vocals, screechy, yelly, kind of almost punkish kind of vocals. But interesting listen nonetheless. You know, not outstanding, but definitely not bad by any means. A couple of really good songs. Favorite artwork from a new release. That was one that I just dropped on the floor. I need to pick this up on vinyl if I still can. And it was another one that I neglected to mention because I left it on my hallway table. The Conjureth full length that just came out earlier this year. Majestic Dissolve. Just beautiful landscape art, you know, not reinventing the wheel with death metal art, you know, just these kind of psychedelic landscapes, but it's really well done. It's very tasteful. Look great on an LP jacket, so gotta hit up Wayne, see if they still have any. Favorite artwork, favorite track from 2021. Another one that I'm kind of like, I don't know. I listen to albums in one go, and they just kind of wash over me. But if I were to pick a track from my favorite album from this year, from my AOTY, it would probably be track 3 on this Heavy Sentence record, Bang to Rights, Age of Fire. It's just got a great, you know, gallopy sort of melodic opening. It's one of the faster tracks on there, and it busts into some great, like, mid-paced, just anthemic heavy metal. It's a great song. A song that became an earworm. Okay, so this wouldn't be a heavy metal song. There's a new kids movie out. It's Disney CGI deal, one of those, called Encanto. And there's a song, it's a musical. There's a song about Luisa. She's part of a magical family, the family Madrigal. And she has a song about all the pressure she's going under, because her magical superpower is that she's very strong. And that song, if you know it, fellow parents out there, it's probably stuck in your head right now that I've mentioned it. I'm sorry, / you're welcome. That's my earworm. Drip, 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 will it never stop. Whoa. 2 albums destined to be culled from your collection. Another thing that I don't really do very often, I was a broke record collector in my 20s and into my early 30s that was constantly selling stuff to buy more stuff. Many regrets of things that I wish I'd not gotten rid of. So now I've kind of got like PTSD regarding that, and I just hold on to everything. But there's a few things that have come to me that I'm probably going to let go of. Like, I don't remember who sent me this as an extra. Heartfelt Discord, One Win Choice, 2-band split. Just, it's like that 2000s, for lack of a better term, amazing core stuff, if you know anything about the hardcore scene. It's just not really my thing. I'll probably give that to somebody, flip it, whatever. This I bought because I was feeling nostalgic, as a lot of people do when they waste money on stuff. I was feeling nostalgic for when I was getting into like heavy metal and skateboarding and reading Thrasher a lot. And I had just recently picked up an album by a band called Seika, who I'll talk about in a minute, who are great. Let me go flip that over. Yeah, Seika were great. And but they were like an early 90s thrash metal band on Tang Records. Tang, known as like more of a Boston hardcore label. They put out Slapshot, probably what they're known for the most, and I believe the Freeze, and even some stuff like Lemonheads and the Lears and stuff that was kind of outside of hardcore. They put out some metal records in the early 90s, late 80s, early 90s, and I just was like curious about them, and they're super cheap. Like I got this Maelstrom record. This is the other one that I'd purge. I got this for a song like Sealed, and it is funk metal. I knew that it like was sort of funk metal from the old reviews I read in Thrasher when I was a kid. I just didn't realize the degree of funkiness in the metal, and that is just not my jam. There's 2 or 3 songs on it that rip. They totally dump goat dongs. They're great. And I have a 7-inch single by them, actually, where they cover Void. They cover Who Are You by Void, the hardcore band from DC. And, like, legit, like, the song's almost better than the original. It rips. It's super tight. But this is just the slap bass kind of rapping way ahead of its time, you know? And you could tell, like, late 80s, they got, like, peace signs shaved into the back of their heads. And, yeah, I mean, it's a definite artifact of the time. But not my thing. Just a little too funky in my metal. I like my funk by itself. maybe the first Faith No More with Mike Patton. I'll take that. That's pretty good. Real thing. Anyway, all right. So, a band you have gone off. That's another tough one. I had that when I was younger, where I would be like, I don't really care for this anymore. It's not my thing anymore. I go through phases where I feel like listening to stuff again. I never really sign off on anything in particular. I'd say maybe right now, I'm not so in the mood for anything past Slow, Deep, and Hard by Typo Negative. But that could easily change, you know? I haven't really felt like listening to the really kind of gothy Typo stuff recently. But whatever. I probably will in like a week. 90s album recommendation. Seika, who I just mentioned. Love Shim. Came out on Tang in like, I think 91. Just a cool thrash band that had a distinctly kind of punk rock edge. Not like a hardcore punk, but more almost like a 70s punk, like in the choruses and just some of the hooks. Almost kind of glammy in a weird way, but also had that chunky like thrash sort of thing going on. It's like sleaze thrash, and which is apt because they're named after a porn star that was popular at the time. Yeah, it came out in like 90 or 91. I'm kind of formulating some ideas for a video about early 90s thrash, because I think that's an interesting take, because that subgenre was kind of tanking at the time, and it was kind of interesting to look back and see the bands that were still kind of holding on and what they were doing with it and trying to make it commercial in some cases. So this would definitely fall in that realm. Seika, Love Shim. Show a 7-inch single, or name a single that sold an album to you. Yeah, I actually tried to get the other release from this band, Ritual Warfare, and the only place I could find it sold out of, I think Headsplit actually had it and it sold out. Repulsive Addiction. This is awesome. It's just gross, primal, extreme metal, you know, not straight up death, black, or thrash. Kind of falls within stuff like Necrofilth or early Repulsion or something like that. It's just disgusting. What appears to be two-man metal from Canada. Came out this year, I believe. Mike Woodford got it for me. Always hooking me up with awesome stuff. Awesome dude. Epic song, 8 minutes or more. This is my chance to flex my special edition Worm for Everglade tape. Because I don't know where the CD is right now. Sent to me by Phantom Slaughter. The last song on this, Centuries of Ooze. It's like perfect death doom crawling. It takes you on a journey, I'll tell you that much. that is an epic jam. Opinion on RSD on Record Store Day. For the most part, I'm against it. I mean, I don't think it's really a hot take to be anti-Record Store Day these days, just because all the pressing plants are overwhelmed with repressing huge, well-known mainstream artists' stuff, reissues and the like, or even new records, along with Target and Walmart pressing the stuff. I'm not getting my friggin' Worm record till after February when it's been done for how long, you know? So that's part of it. I mean, it's good that brick and mortar stores can make some good money while it's going on, but you know, not a fan. But did I skip anything? No. What part of your music setup would you change? Not much. I'm not sure if you can see here. I have this camera up on a tripod, so maybe I can turn it. There it is. Oh, tripod's... Oh, God, it's all falling apart. Ugh. Okay, so you can see there what a mess my room is, for one thing. I just got these tower speakers, and I love them. They sound great. You know, still, U-turn orbit is still going strong. Only thing I might change might be the receiver. Yeah, I might change the receiver someday. I think it'd be nice to have, like, nice vintage Marantz or something like that. Has really, really good, you know, sound, warm sound. Although the newer Onkyo speaker I have, or receiver I have, works fine. I always wanted just something with like a tube receiver, like a Marantz or something like that. But like I've tried with a few of those, getting them cheap on eBay, which was a dumb move, and just got my heart broken because it just didn't work. Tried to get them repaired. You know, they worked for like a day. So not really much. I'm very fortunate to have a nice setup. So I'm gonna fix this so it was. There you go. You got to see the Slaughter poster there. All right. What else we got? Biggest musical disappointment of 2021. I don't know. Like, there wasn't anything too offensive. Like, there was no, like, equivalent of, like, Diabolus in Musica or, like, that one Morbid Angel, that name of which I've erased from my memory. That Cadaver was a little bit on the weak sauce side. I love their two death metal records and even the Cadaver Inc., like, black metal-ish record that they did. And, yeah, just that kind of was just underwhelming, but it wasn't even bad. I heard the newest Fluids record, and that also, to me, was really not great. There was something just kind of not memorable about it, and the production was less than awesome. And I liked early Fluids, but I wasn't a huge stand for them either, so I don't know. Nothing really disappointed me that much. Let's see. Name an album you were expecting and looking forward to in 2022. I'll tell you what. This just arrived in the mail. This is the 3-song preview from the upcoming 2021 release. Maybe that'd be the disappointment. Vomit Forth's 2021 release full-length album didn't come out. Seething Malevolence. Looking forward to Seething Malevolence by Vomit Forth. This is just like a promo that they put out on vinyl, which is nice, which is 2 tracks of their own and a cover of Ill Neglect by Brutal Truth. But yeah, Vomit Forth capture a distinctly northeastern kind of 90s style death metal, like more into the late 90s. You know, it's a little bit proto-slam and very brutal, and brings to mind Scattered Remnants and early Suffocation and Pyrexia and stuff like that. And it's super high energy and moshy and kind of like hardcore dudes would dig it, you know, like that kind of stuff. Yeah, really, really good band. Possibly my favorite Maggot Stomp band right now, up there with Inoculation for me. So looking forward to their full length whenever they can get that going. Who would I like to see release a solo album? Phil Swanson. Phil Swanson from Hour 13 and Sumerlands. Just a great voice. Great voice. Good songwriter. I think he was involved in writing some stuff for Hour 13 too. I could be wrong, but I just love his vocal execution. Amazing. Would love to see something with him. Even acoustic from that guy would be rad. I gotta flip this again. 19. Almost done. Show a placeholder album you would rebuy in better condition. Actually, the condition of the vinyl of this is great. What I might do is get like find a reasonably priced reissue and Frankenstein it out or something. This is an original pressing of the Deicide self-titled I got it as part of a lot years ago, over 10 years ago, with Sadist Swallowed in Black, which was another OG pressing. I think the European pressings. And yeah, this doesn't have a cover, so that's kind of a placeholder, I guess. That, and I have like one of those reissued, like, when was that? 90s or early 2000 black mark reissues of the Bathory debut, where they really messed with the mix and stuff. I would love to have like any pressing of that from the 80s, like, you know, whether it's Combat or Black Mark or Bonsai or whatever. That would be really nice. Because of cost or availability, what album have you yet to pick up? There you go, the aforementioned. Either that or, I mean, I can afford any of this stuff, thankfully. Like, you know, I have some disposable income, but I haven't gotten around to it. Either that Bathory self-titled, like a decent copy of it. I'd never go for a Yellow Goat. That's just exorbitant. I don't have that kind of money, really. Oz Turn the Cross Upside Down EP would be nice to own. Or, trying to think what else. Oh, Genocide, Submit to Genocide. It's kind of like a metal punk classic. That's on my to-buy list this year at some point. But yeah, that's it. 2022 Metal Tag, I'm out. Hey, if you've discovered this channel due to this tag and you're not subscribed and you liked what you saw, hit the subscribe button. Feel free to comment. Thumbs up, thumbs down, whatever. Positive feedback, negative feedback, I don't care. Just join in. Join in. Be my friend. Be my enemy. Whatever. Bye.